This one is arithmetic series. Now the first one is sum of n terms. Now this is a proof that needs to be memorized. Now there's only one way of doing the sum, and this needs to be memorized, so please pay attention. The first thing that we have to do is we have to write down all the terms to show the sum of the first n terms. Now in order to prove that sum of the first n terms is this, let's do it individually. In other words, let me say it manually. So sum of n terms means first term, which is a, plus second term u2, which is written as a plus d, plus third term u3 is written as a plus 2d, and on, and the last term, nth term, is going to be a plus n minus 1 d. So that's the first n terms. So let me just write it down here. The formula for nth term is a plus n minus 1 d. That makes the first term u1, second term u1 plus d, meaning a plus d. u1 is considered a, and the third term is a plus 1 less 2d, and on like this. So sum of n terms means first term, second term, third term. You add up all the term and you get up to the n term. You just add it up. That's what it means. And now if you take a look here, that's what I did exactly, but instead of just u1, u2, I just written them in the format. Now let's do one more thing. Let's write this again, but this time I'm going to write the last term first. So that means a plus n minus 1 d first, and the first three terms at the end, because it has been reversed, a plus d plus a plus 2d. So that's how it is working here now. Now what we can do is we can add the two terms, adding this 2. What happens if you add Sn with Sn? It becomes 2Sn. And if you add this up, it's interesting, every term will always be, let's check, a plus this one is a plus a, twice a plus n minus 1 d. If you check the last term, a plus n minus 1 d would be twice a plus n minus 1 d. So individually, if you add every term would be twice a plus n minus 1 d. So that can be done. Now how many of these are there? Of course n. There are n terms. So if one term is this, there is going to be n term of them. So you multiply this with n. Let me explain this with the help of an example. Suppose you're talking about sum of first 100 terms. If you write S100 as 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to the last term, which is 100. Now if I reverse this S100 and write 100 first, and then write the first three terms before, like this, if you check, now if I add this, then S100 plus S100 is 2S100. Now 100 plus 1 is 101, plus 2 plus the one previously to 100 is 99. This would also be 101, plus the one previous that is 98. 98 plus 3 is also 101, and on. If you want to check the last one, 100 plus 100 is 101. So every term is going to be 101. Now instead of adding 100 ones, we know there are 100 terms. That means we can just say 100 into 101, right? Instead of adding 101 100 times, we can just multiply it with 100. So that's what's happening. So here, instead of adding twice a plus n minus 1 d, we just know there are n terms, so multiply by n. So here what we can do, therefore we can write sum of n terms is n by 2 twice a plus n minus 1 common difference. That's what happens, and this is exactly what they wanted us to prove. They wanted to prove the formula for sum of the first n terms, and this is the proof. So you need to memorize this proof because they give it quite a number of times. Let's move on to the main sum. The main sum has nothing to do with this. So the main sum is, remember, this is an arithmetic sum. So an arithmetic series question will always deal with two formula. Nth term is a plus n minus 1 d, and sum of n terms is n by 2 twice a plus n minus 1 common difference, the one that we just proved. So let's start here. In question number B, they're mentioning Sean repays a loan over a period of n months. Fine, his monthly repayments form an arithmetic sequence. Repays 149 for the first one. That means A is going to be 149, the first term. In the second term, he pays 147. That means common difference is going to be second term 147 minus first term 149, which is going to be minus 2. So it is decreasing. Slowly he's paying less. So great. He makes his final repayment on the nth term. Okay, so we know he repays on the nth term. We don't know what that term is, but we know it has to be more than 21. Okay, so find the amount Sean repays in the 21st month. So that's very easy. It is going to be U21 is A plus n minus 1 is 20 D. So the first term is 149 plus 20. The common difference is minus 2. So let's bring out the calculator. So that should be 149 plus 20 into minus 2. That makes it 109. So the answer is, you have to restate it, Sean pays pound 109. Now question number C, the next one. The next one says, over the n months, he repays a total of 5,000. So total, whenever they say total, it means sum of n terms. We don't know how many months, we just know sum. And they're saying, using that, show that this equation comes. So let's use that. N by 2 twice A, we know A is 149 plus n minus 1. We know common difference is minus 2 and equals to 5,000. Remember, we have only two formula, the nth term and the sum of n terms. And since they mention the sum of total, the word total means sum. So we can write Sn is 5,000 and this is how it works. So let's simplify this. So n by 2. 2 into 149, let me bring out my calculator. 2 into 149 is 298. So 298. So minus 2 into n is minus 2n, minus plus 2 into 1 is 2 equals to 5,000. So this is going to be n by 2. 298 plus 2 is going to be 300. So 300 minus twice n equals to 5,000. Let me bring it here. So this would be n by 2. If I take 2 common from here, it would be 150 minus n equals to 5,000. So this n and this n cancels. Now I can multiply it. 150n minus n square equals to 5,000. Now it is almost there. We can just bring everything to the other side. So it will be 0 equals to n square minus 150n, and 5,000 is on the same side, so the sign will be the same. Now let me write this like this: n squared minus 150n plus 5,000 equals to 0. So we had to show this, so this is shown. So as usual, it is the sum of n terms formula. Now in question D, we have to solve this. Question D, we have to solve this equation formed in part C. So even if you cannot do part C, you can just take this and do question numbers part D. Remember that you don't have to wait for this to do the next part. So let's do question number D. So we have to solve this. So n squared minus 150n plus 5,000. Now you can solve this using the quadratic formula, but I recommend you try to solve it by middle term break. That will be much better. Now 5,000, think in the most simplest terms. 5,000 means 50 into 100. That means 5,000. So what we can do is, to get 150, we can just add 100 with 50. So that will be done. So n square minus 100n minus 50n plus 5,000. Remember, most of the time the middle term breaks are very easy. So if you're doing the quadratic formula, it will be actually more difficult for you rather than the middle term breaks. If you take n common, it will be n minus 100, minus if you take 50 common, it will be n minus 100 equals to 0. So n minus 100, n minus 50 equals to 0. Now we have two values of n equals to 100, n equals to 50. Now sometimes they say write down the value, so let me check with this is solve or write down the value. Solve the equation. That means whatever value it is, that is acceptable. So we have two values of n, 100 and the other one is 50. So done. The next one. Okay, the next one is, this is a bit nothing to do with the sum, but a common sense sum. State with a reason which of the solutions of the equation is not a sensible one. Only 1 mark. Now remember, this is an irregular sum, but just an idea. Whenever we are talking about money, remember, and they're talking about sensible, you have to remember money cannot be negative. So if you want to check out which term is not sensible, let's check n equals to 100, the 100th term. So let's check which term is positive. So if you want the nth term to be positive, okay, so we need the nth term to be positive. So let's see what term it has to be in order for it to be greater than 0, for a term to be positive. So it has to be a plus n minus 1 common difference greater than 0. A is 149 plus n minus 1 is minus 2 greater than 0. So it has to be 149 minus twice n plus 2 greater than 0. So it has to be 149 plus 2 is 151 minus 2n greater than 0. So minus 2n greater than minus 151. Therefore n is, now if you divide it by negative number, it will be reversed and less than 151 divided by 2. 151 divided by 2 means 151 divided by 2 means 75.5. So 75.5. So n has to be less than 75.5, but one of our answer was n equals to 100. N equals to 100, so n cannot be 100, n has to be 50. So all you have to do is write, let me write here, hence n equals to 100 is not sensible because it gives a negative term. So this is an irregular sum and you don't have to worry about this particular sum. Just reminding you that whenever they're talking about money and they're talking about whether the answer is logical, you just think about whether it is positive or negative. That's it. The final sum, is a coordinate geometry sum. So it's a cubic sum, and the first question they ask is show that this point lies on this curve. So to do that, just put the value of x and see whether y matches. So when x equals to 3, y equals to 1/3 3 cubed minus 4 3 squared plus 8 into 3 plus this, and it will match. This would be, you don't even have to check, it will be 0, or you can check, but this will be 0. 27, 3 cube is 27, 27 by 3 is 9, 9 minus 3 square is 9, 9 4 is the 36. So 9 minus 36 is going to be something like 24 plus 27. This will be 27 plus 27, it will be 0. So you can check using the calculator. Then you write, since when x equals to 3, y equals to 0, point lies on curve. That's it. You might not want to write this, but it's a good idea for presentation. And B, we have to find the equation of a tangent. Okay, reminder again, equation of a line. Okay, equation of a line. You need a line, you need a point x1 y1, you need a gradient, so y minus y1 equals to m, x minus x1. So remember, whenever you have the equation of a line, it's going to be like this, and the gradient rule is gradient of a tangent is equals to dy by dx, and dy by dx of course is the gradient of a curve. So let's move on. So dy by dx is going to be 1 by 3 into power 3, so that will be 1, and the power of x will reduce by 1, so that is it. 4 to the 8, and the power of x will reduce by 1, plus 8x, it will be 8. So at the point P, so at P we know the x coordinate is 3, so the dy by dx would be 3 squared minus 8 into 3 plus 8. That would make it 9 minus 24 plus 8. So 9 minus 24 plus 8 would be minus 7. So the gradient of curve is minus 7. That means gradient of tangent is also minus 7. So we have to write this down. So gradient of tangent equals to minus 7. Now the equation of the tangent, so let me write it here. So equation of tangent, y minus y1, the coordinates of P is 3 and 0, so remember, so y minus 0 equals to m is minus 7, x minus x1 is 3, so it will be y equals to minus 7x minus plus 21. Now did they ask us to write the answer in a format? Yes, y equals to, so it will be y equals to minus 7x plus 21. Always check the format. The format is very, very important. So now that this is done, we have to find the equation of a tangent. It is done. We have to move on to the final question, and the final question is, they're saying the tangent to the curve C. Remember, the capital letter C is used to name the curve, and the capital letter P and Q is used to name 2 points. So they're saying there's another point that lies on the curve C. So let me show you what it might look like. So it's a cubic plus x cube curve, right? So it looks like NU. So suppose it looks like this. Now we have a point, suppose we have a point P here, okay, and we have a tangent here, right? So this is the tangent at the point P. Now they're saying there is another point Q. Suppose that point Q is here. There is another point Q and the tangent to the curve C at the point Q. So let's draw another tangent. So this is tangent here. So they're saying the tangent drawn at the point Q is parallel to the tangent drawn at the point Q. So now we know that this line has a gradient. We just found m equals to minus 7. If two lines are parallel, you know from parallel line rule that they have the same gradient. So this line should also have a gradient of minus 7. So the first thing that we have to write is gradient of parallel line is minus 7. So this line is also has the gradient minus 7. Now remember, the gradient of the tangent and the gradient of the curve is the same. That means at this particular point the curve also has the gradient minus 7. Now the point is you have to find the coordinates of Q. So if you know the gradient of the curve, then you can find the point at which that gradient occurs. So the actual question is gradient of curve is also minus 7 at that point. By the question, so dy by dx is minus 7. So this question is about if the gradient is given, what would be the point? So let's take a look at the derivative. What is dy by dx? So dy by dx is x squared minus 8x plus 8. So this is x squared minus 8x plus 8 equals to minus 7. So this would be x squared minus 8x. 8 plus 7 is 15. So middle term break, 5 3s are 15. So we need x squared minus 5x minus 3x plus 15 equals to 0. So if you take x common, it will be x minus 5. If you take minus 3 common, it will be x minus 5 equals to 0. So x minus 5, x minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore x equals to 5 or x equals to 3. Now we have two values of x. How do you know which one? Remember, both the curve, both the tangents, they have the same gradient -7. So the 2 points represent 2 points. One must be P and the other must be Q. Now that we already know that the x-coordinate of P is 3, if you check, it's given that P has coordinates 3, 0. So x-coordinate is 3. So the other coordinate, x-coordinate 5, must be the coordinate of y. So when x equals to 5, y equals to what? We need to find the y coordinate because every coordinates has two values, x and y. So let's put it in the original equation of y. Y equals to what? Y equals to 1 by 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 8x plus 8. One by 3 x cubed minus 4 x squared minus 8x plus 8. Let me check. One by 3 x cubed, 1 by 3 x cubed minus 4x squared plus 8x plus 3. So this would be plus 8x, x is 5, and plus 3, this should be 3. Okay, let's calculate. 5 cubed is 125 by 3. 5 squared is 25. 25 into 4. 25 into 4 is going to be 100. Plus 8 5s are 40 plus 3. So it would be, let's do this together. So 125 by 3 minus 100 plus 40 plus 3. That makes it shift ABC minus 46 by 3. Minus 46 by 3. So answer, Q has coordinates 5 minus 46 by 3.